It's just like a big round weird helmet, like Boba Fett hair. It's just so bizarre. What
Boba
is
Fett
that?
hair, oh
Why?
my God. It's time to take A Therapeutic Dose, a prescription-strength reality TV podcast that explores the intersection of reality TV and therapy. Possible side effects may include entertainment, strong emotional reactions, and/or laughter. Here are your hosts, Ramona Ramirez and Margie McGee.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to A Therapeutic Dose, where we meet at the intersection of reality TV and therapy. I am Margie McGee, and with me, as always, is my dear friend and co-host.
Dear friend and cranky co-host. Hi, I am Ramona Ramirez. Margie, it's so great to see you.
So good to see you, too. Look, the planets are all out of alignment. Technology is really having just a temper tantrum today, and we're just, rolling with it. That's what can we do?
I tried printing out these notes twice. My husband, God bless, he didn't know that I'd had it set up to print on both sides. So he took a piece of paper out. It wasn't done printing. The printer ran out of paper, and then we only had 3 sheets left, and it didn't fucking work the second time we tried to print it. So we had to power up a backup fucking iPad so that I could read my goddamn notes. And yes, I fully was like, Siri. Margie and I sat down. I'm all, Siri, is Mercury retrograde? It's like, yes, bitch. It's been retrograde since the 4th of August, and it will be till the end of the month. So buckle up. Too fucking bad. Get over yourself. Ha 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 ha. Joke's on you.
But all of them are going crazy, apparently. All the planets are just they've lost their damn minds.
So if anyone's
fine.
out there being challenged by everything on the planet, everything under the sun, that's why.
It also
if you
might just
choose
be
to believe it, right?
a gentle nudge from the universe for both of us to stop using paper and get on our iPads. Because I will say last week I had the same issue. My printer melted down or I ran out of ink. I don't even remember. And this week I'm back on my iPad. I'm going to give it another go because I feel like, I don't know, if I can do that, that could be whatever. Maybe I'm using as much power and ruining the planet with power as I would be with paper. I don't know. I'm just going to try.
I hear you. I mean, listen, the fact that we're concerned about ruining the planet over people that aren't concerned about, every time I think maybe we can have a revolution. The next time I go to Costco, I'm all, oh no, we're not having a fucking revolution. No one's revolting shit.
What do you mean?
I mean, when I go to Costco,
Consumption?
Yes, consumption, plastic. When people are coming out with crate upon crate upon crate of Kirkland branded bottled water, it's okay, well, I don't know who's going to revolt with me, And
the younger generation is so ahead of us. Every single one of those kids has one of those Stanley cups that when it falls down, it makes the most terrifying, loud, earth-shattering sound I've ever heard in my life. But it's cool to have a Stanley cup. So they're not about a single-use plastic. That's lame. That's for old farts like us. So
I have a Zojirushi.
I don't know
tumbler.
what that is. What is that?
Okay, so Zojirushi is a Japanese brand, and they make just outstanding food product appliances or electronics. My mom got me this really great Zojirushi rice maker / vegetable steamer years ago, and the thing is just top notch, just great quality. Then a couple years ago, I got an insulated travel mug because I wanted my coffee to stay hot all day. And it's a 20-ouncer. And I'm not kidding you. This thing, if you put hot coffee on it, screw the lid on, leave it outside overnight, and it's cold out, you will get that thing of coffee in the morning, unscrew it, and steam's going to come out. It's held ice cubes in there cold for 2 days. These things are magic. They are fucking great. I'm trying to drink a lot more water. So I was I'm going to dial up the trusty Zojirushi website and see. And they had beautiful 30-ounce tumblers, 34 ounce, maybe 34 ounce. Gorgeous. It makes too much noise for me to have it in the booth. So I have my Taylor Swift Eras Tour.
Amazing. Of course.
Plastic cup that's quiet as a mouse. But my Zojirushi is, everything I've had from Zojirushi is just amazing. So
it's like a bougie big gulp.
I love it, yes. And that I would drink more big gulps if 7-Eleven would let me bring my own cup in. I fucking love a fountain Diet Coke more than anything else in the world. I find it inherently and superiorly delicious compared to other forms of Diet Coke. It's fountain Diet Coke, then can, last resort, plastic bottle Diet Coke.
What about glass bottle?
Glass bottle Diet Coke? You know what? I don't know. I don't know if I've had a glass bottle Diet Coke.
Oh my goodness.
I bet it's probably delicious.
I think it's after can, though, honestly.
You think it's after can?
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
There's something about like a can and bubbles that does
yeah.
something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Glass kind of dampens the
It does
bubble
feel
action.
like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Josh is like really up in the Topo Chico action.
Sure.
And it's like, it's not as aggressive of a bubble as I care for.
Really?
I'm drinking a
feel
fizzy
like
water.
It's too aggressive. I feel
Really?
like Topo Chico comes blasting out of the glass. But I don't handle bubble water like that great. I'm a flat water girl.
I like both. I like spa, flat water.
I love your spa flat water.
I love your spa flat water.
I mean, I feel like I stole it from your house. I feel like I got the recipe.
Oh my
which
God.
Is
it's
cucumber
and
lemon, and water.
Right, exactly.
But you put it in a pitcher in the fridge and then it's like bright and wonderful and I love it.
I have to trick myself into doing shit or I won't drink water ever. It's a fucking ADHD thing, apparently. Anything that's boring is going to make someone with ADHD just immediately go, fuck that. Like, why do you want me to drink water? Why do you want me to go pee? Why do you want me to wash my face? Which I actually talk about in this episode because of the Emily showing up without washing her face.
Not only not washing her face, like
glam.
Full lashes, like
yeah,
not a thing came off. It's pretty amazing.
And just because we've been going off about hydration methods for the last 10 years doesn't mean you're not tuned into A Therapeutic Dose, where we will be talking about The Real Housewives of Orange County, Season 18, Episode 6. This one's called All Up in Gina's Grill.
Okay.
Yeah.
Look, I'm on board. The editors did some funny stuff this episode. I thought whoever's on the Avid is doing a great job, or whatever program people use these days. And I also, it was like the Orange County on location. It was like $1 Million Listing Orange County Big Bear. La Quinta.
Seriously, it was.
I kind of loved it. I loved that we got
too.
2 house tours. I was like super into it.
I didn't like the fact that we were bouncing. It made taking notes a little bit difficult. But the good news is that it felt like this episode was very easy to contain. And it was, again, like last week, like yet another rehash, except for it's just, being split up into 2 different fighting groups, right?
Cold weather climate and desert.
Cold and then desert cold, right. So it was a little good to see Elizabeth Vargas. I know that she has some life choices that I don't agree with, but it was good to see her. And I felt she was very gracious to let those ladies stay in her home.
She sure was. And Gina's an idiot and bad at her job. Oh my God, I would never even let myself in a house that was staged and ready to sell. Oh my God. Crazy.
Yeah. If you have a minute to rate, review, and subscribe, we would really, really appreciate it. That would be great. And now let's discuss. What do you think?
Let's get into it. I mean, we were talking before, partly why I feel like Elizabeth Vargas was such a breath of fresh air is because we were saying before we started recording that this season is really, I'm having a hard time with it because there's no one to like. Now that Emily has teetered into mean girl territory, now I'm just like, oh, everyone in their own special way, but everyone sucks. Like, it is really hard to like anyone. As you were saying, Katie gets no screen time, so she's like the last great hope, but she gets like 20 seconds. And that's not a big enough reprieve from this like huge gang of mean people.
Mean and selfish and just, Tamara is so fucking mean, dude. She's so mean.
Relentless. It's just relentless. And it's like, not even, I realized,
a hobby.
Right? That is her hobby. In this episode, I realized it's not personal because when Alexis is not present, Tamara and Jen make fun of Alexis. When Jen isn't present, Tamara makes fun of Jen with it's not personal. She just wants to be an asshole to whoever will listen. And if you're not in the room, just know that you're being trashed. So
that's a really, really good point. You're absolutely, dude.
The way she sold out Shannon to John Jansen over FaceTime, I was like, you literally will harm anyone if the opportunity presents itself. You are so mean. So mean.
She's diabolical.
Agreed.
For being Christian, she's like okay, she's gross. She's
She
fucking
is
gross.
gross. She agreed. We did have some great Orange County locations at the
There
beginning of this
were.
episode before we left town. Where's the Party
Where's the
is the
party?
party store where we start with, once again, Heather opens the episode. So it's just like, I'm just starting to feel more and more like she's in Andy's pocket,
Why
pants,
why is she
something.
getting, and listen, I don't care. Like I mean I guess I kind of do care. I guess part of what I loved about living in Southern California, part of where I love anywhere, I love being in my fucking car. I love driving my car. I love listening to, if I was in Southern California, my preset was on KCRW. If I'm not in Southern California, I still have KCRW going through Apple CarPlay in my phone from the app. A Suburban drops her off at Where's the Party, invitations and gifts. And it's like, don't you want to just drive your car, Heather? Don't you just want to drive a car? Maybe she doesn't. And I feel bad because, like, I know that cars are the last thing we need on the road. I will say, in my own defense, I do drive an EV. So I feel pretty good about that. Like, a la the South Park episode where they all love the smells of their
Their
own
own
Prius
farts, their
farts.
Prius
Right.
farts.
But it just was just a nice quiet reprieve for me to be in my car, and especially driving around those super wealthy neighborhoods in Orange County. The lanes are so wide and the streets are so smoothly paved, and it's like you have the little 73 toll road, like it's idyllic driving conditions. If it's not traffic time, fine, but I don't know. I wasn't looking to judge Heather. I was just like, why is she not driving?
I will say it's so funny because I reacted to that too, but in the way of like, there are times when it'd be nice, when you have like one last email to send, but if you
Yeah.
send it, you're going to be 15 minutes late.
Yeah.
And if you could just have someone drive you there, then you can send the email in the car and get there, and then everything's taken care of instead of disappointing someone with a late email or disappointing someone with a late arrival. So
That's true.
occasionally that would come in handy. But yeah, if I'm like Heather Dubrow rich and I have beautiful cars to drive, unless there's terrible traffic or I have emails to send and I'm going to be late.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially to Where's the Party?
Where's the
Maybe she just
party?
didn't want her car seen in that parking lot. It was kind of Party City-ish or like Oz, and
I
she doesn't
mean,
want her car spotted in the parking lot of some like Spencer's Gift style.
you got South Coast Plaza there, but far be it from me. The Fashion Island, far be it from me.
I feel like it's just where the production can shoot
Oh my God,
comfortably,
duh, of course.
And I don't think there's ever going to be a problem with like crowds in Where's the Party?
Where's the party?
It seems
Where's
like
the
a place
party?
people visit occasionally.
Yay, yay, yay.
I mean, do you want to talk about skincare and things of this nature?
You know what? I actually do. I
Get into
actually
it.
really
You're
do.
an
Thank
expert.
you. Thank you for, yes, I appreciate that. So, yeah, Emily shows up. Heather's there. They're shopping for Easter shit. Emily confesses that she's in her glam from the previous night. And it really disturbed me because, like you said, Margie, I am a self-identified skincare addict / would I say expert?
Connoisseur at the very least. I
Right.
would say expert. I
But
come to you to ask
yes,
for things, and everything that you've recommended for me has worked.
this was like a therapy moment for me, like right away. When Emily said that she didn't wash off her glam, I don't know why she doesn't wash off her glam. It looked really good. Like, why would you? If she can sleep on her back and not move and be ready for the next morning, that's great. We're recording this on Sunday night. So after we're done doing this, if I don't wash my face before I settle down to like watch TV or like have like a nice quiet Sunday routine, it will be 4 o'clock in the morning and I'll be like, I am exhausted. I know I should have gone to bed like 7 hours ago, but I still have to go in that bathroom and take off my fucking makeup and wash my face and put on like my 15 things. And so that thought will keep me on the couch, eyes bloodshot and dry because I'm so tired. But the thought of going in to wash my face, I resist it like a dog being dragged through the threshold of the vet office, And I have been told it is an ADHD hallmark, and it is my secret fucking shame. Why? I am not just an adult. Like, I am a middle-aged adult. I know way, 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 way too much to know that I should not be washing my face before I go to bed or just to do it. But like, I can't. So I've started making hacks for myself. I pop in my earbuds. I turn on a comfort show like Seinfeld, or right now like Summer House, or a podcast. And that way I can wash and apply my myriad ablutions while something else is distracting me. I envy people that can get in and out of the bathroom in 10 minutes. I've never been able to do that. I don't know why. I don't know why it takes me so long. I don't know why it takes me 30 fucking minutes to put all my shit on. I'm not trying to be distracted. I'm really trying to stay on task and just get it done. And I don't even use a lot of products, but my vanity keeps me from falling asleep in my makeup. So I get less sleep because I procrastinated going in to wash my fucking face, but I at least glow a little bit over the dark circles that have formulated. When Heather starts going into her skincare routine, I didn't laugh at her. I felt bad. Here's the thing. The beauty industry, we all know, is a billion upon billion upon billion dollar industry. And I am so mad that these companies they make claims that aren't necessarily true, number one. Number two, companies still put color and fragrance into their shit. Companies still put SD alcohol in their shit. Probably like, I don't know, 97 or 98. I was homesick from work one day. A woman named Paula Begone was on the Oprah Winfrey Show. And Paula Begone, for people that don't know who she is a woman that she worked at cosmetics counters. So she started educating herself on skincare ingredients, and she started seeing like all the bullshit that comes out from like every skincare company that comes out. It's like, oh, this is what our company's going to do. This is what our miracle product does, yada, yada, yada. And all of us just throw money blindly at these products, And she started doing research, and she had, you know what? I'm cutting all this out. This is bullshit. I'm just going to say, no, it's so dumb. Like,
No,
I'm going
it's
off
not.
forever. Really?
Has educated me, and I use Paula B.
Paula Begone, Paula's Choice.
Paula's Choice, yes.
Yeah.
I use Paula's Choice stuff because of you.
Yeah. Okay. Well, oh God, I feel bad, but like,
It's
I
a
feel
public
like,
service announcement. It's a PSA. Fast forward if you don't want to hear it. But
okay.
I found a great help from her products.
So I'm
And I have
homesick,
terrible skin.
sick one day in the late 90s, and Paula Begone is on the Oprah Winfrey Show, and she talks about her history as, in selling makeup and skincare, and how her skin, she was prone to oily skin and breakouts, and nothing helped. And she was like reading ingredients and like learning about ingredients and wondering, why are all of these things that I'm buying not delivering results? Well, it turns out because a lot of a lot of formulas are a hot fucking mess. So she came up with a book called Don't Go to the Cosmetics Counter Without Me. And in that book, she reviewed certain things. But mostly what she did is she started breaking down like, these are the ingredients you should never put on your fucking face, and here's why. And then she would, link to a study done by a credible college or the Public Institute of Health, or what's the NIH pub, National Institute of Health. She's not a pseudoscientist. She's like legit, like quoting real scientists. And that is where my love affair with skincare came about, because I had a limited budget. I also had skin that would break out. I also I don't know, who the fuck doesn't want to like look as good as you can in your skin? You know what I mean? So I started following this woman. She started her own skincare line. I bought every book. I started using her products back again in the late 90s. I have not deviated since 1997 or 8 from using Paula's Choice. And while my skin has a lot to do with genetics, my mother grew up in Culver City. She went to Venice Beach every single day after fucking high school, and she still does not look her age. And this is my Jewish mother, like the one who's, for all intents and purposes, paler than the Mexican side of my family. My point is that my mom had like way more ozone than we have. But again, it's genetics. So Paula taught me about beta hydroxy acid as an acne treatment instead of other things. She taught me like, bitch, sunscreen every fucking day. I don't care if you go out of the house or you don't. You put on a sunscreen that is at least 15 or 30 or 50. If it doesn't have these kinds of sunscreens in it, these active ingredients, then it's not going to do anything for you. If your shit is in a jar, you're going to open it up, air's going to come in, and your fingers, even though you just wash them, are going to get germs inside it. So don't buy shit in jars. Don't buy vitamin C in a bottle that's clear because it has to be stable. It has to be in extremely opaque packaging, or the vitamin C that you just spent a shit ton of money on is going to become unstable and it's going to be a waste. Then what she did is she blew my mind and she said, and by the way, you don't have to spend a ton of money on skincare. You can go get everything you need at the drugstore. And just because there's a high price tag on it does not mean the quality is better. So she's talking about using her vitamin C. She holds it up. It's in a clear glass dropper bottle. It's already done. She talks about her little jar of something. And I see that it's a jar she has to unscrew. I'm like, well, that's a fucking waste
Heather.
too.
You're talking about Heather.
Talking about
Okay.
Heather. Yes,
Yeah,
sorry. And then at the very last thing, she says she sprays La Mer on her face. I have had a motto for 20 years, if not longer. And that is, friends don't let friends use La Mer. Creme de La Mer is mineral oil mixed with fragrance and green coloring, and maybe a little bit of seaweed bullshit. And they charge, I 150 for the
More.
tiny,
For the tiny one.
For the tiny one.
Mm-hmm.
I think the big one goes for about $1,500. And I cannot imagine doing something stupider than buying creme de fucking La Mer.
Hold on. Just the creme though, right? Because they have
Just
other
the creme.
products. Like their face serum is amazing.
Yes.
They have a soft cream that's amazing. And I have another friend, and I'll ask you about this. She told me that La Mer was created by a scientist for burn victims. So that, no, you're rolling your eyes. Okay.
I'm rolling my eyes.
And here's why I asked that, because during the pandemic, my hands were raw because I lost my mind and I went crazy, and all I did was wash my hands and Purell them 24/7 nonstop. And so they were just like raw, broken skin. And she brought me La Mer hand cream, and it was the only thing that like worked. Everything else had failed because I had gone so extreme. I don't think you need to buy La Mer hand cream if you're like not in the middle of a pandemic rubbing your hands raw. But anyways, there are a couple products that I like, but maybe it's just because the packaging is beautiful and it smells lovely. And like,
yes.
Maybe I've just fucking succumbed to the seduction that they intend with all of their packaging and marketing and all that stuff.
Like, had you tried like Aquaphor and stuff like that, like a petroleum jelly based something?
But that like got on everything. Like
right.
it just, and I'm not like, I'm such a klutz. I can't be trusted to like hold your hand still while it works. It immediately is on every surface and every part of my body. And
yeah.
So I needed something that would like absorb. The other thing that worked was that Neutrogena hand stuff, but that also required some like don't touch anything. For
the one in the white with the Norwegian flag on it.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So I think probably the active ingredients in both of those, or like the main one, are probably mineral oil. And mineral oil is as archaic and old and antiquated as it is. It's still a skin soother. It's just not. Listen, not everything they make is terrible. Like the serum is fine. Like the face spray she makes that she uses, Heather, as her last step, it might be great.
But it's probably $2,000 and like definitely not worth it.
And it definitely smells like fish, and it has a fragrance over that. So I am so fucking scared of something fucking up with like the healthy biome of my skin. I don't want color. I don't want fragrance. There's no need for either of them to be on my skin. I don't want it. I don't care if something stinks. I don't care if it smells like mildew, mold, soy milk. I don't care. I don't want anything masking it, because the thing that masks it is going to be the wild card. Color is the wild card. Added artificial color, wild card. Added fragrance, wild card. So people can tell me that they're blue in the face, like, oh, spray that Mario Badescu rose shit on your face. I'm all fucking pass. Pass, fucking pass. I don't even use scented hair care sometimes if I can help it. I'm scared. I don't want it. I don't want to do it. I say this with 2 humongous zits on my chin.
I mean, nothing is perfect. Life still happens. That's because the planets are in retrograde. That's why everyone's skin is breaking out.
Oh, yeah. But my point is, if anyone has any skincare questions, please DM or email at atherapeuticdose@gmail.com, and I will happily check out what product you're interested in and tell you if it's yay or nay.
Yeah. And I give a testimonial to Ramona's
Yeah.
expertise. You've helped me through like some weird skin transitions and like lots of moments. And most of them have been Paula's choice. That's been the miracle product for most things that have gone left on my face and body, because her body products are great
Her
too.
body products are great. Her shampoo and conditioner are great. And I love that line. I have recently started exploring Korean skincare, specifically sunscreens, because the United States doesn't get state-of-the-art sunscreens because the FDA won't let us have them. So we're stuck with zinc and titanium dioxide, which I can't use zinc on my face because I will get a perioral dermatitis breakout, which I'll need a month of doxycycline on to get rid of it, and fuck that. And then we get avobenzone, octocrylene, and I don't know. We get some other chemical sunscreens, which I love. But I want to try the ones that they get to use in Korea and Europe. We don't get those here. So
why won't the FDA approve those for
I don't
us?
know. I don't know why. Capitalism, a lobby. I'm
So
not
it's
sure.
There's not a suspect ingredient that we're going to find out later is like.
No.
Okay.
In fact, we use more suspect ingredients that Europe isn't allowed to.
Yeah.
Here's another thing I want to go off on for about 20,000 years. People are real like they're clamoring for clean beauty. Clean beauty. Make it clean. I want to tell everyone right now, if you're drinking fucking water, it's a chemical. Air is a chemical. You know it's natural? A nettle plant. Fucking poison ivy and poison oak. Those are quote unquote natural and botanical. I'm not going to rub any of that shit on my face. You know what parabens do? Parabens are preservatives. So that concealer you buy, if you buy clean concealer that doesn't have parabens in it, you're going to have to use up that concealer in about 3 months or it's going to go bad. You would have to be spoon-fed parabens all day, every day for about 10 years to have happen what the clean beauty movement people are so afraid of happening, which is you, I think, getting cancer or getting some sort of sickness. I'm so mad at that. It just makes me so mad. Oh my God, parabens! Give them to me. Give them to me. Give me all the parabens. Give me the preservatives so my shit doesn't go bad.
Paraben-free is sunscreen, because when that gets in my eyes, it's like it lights my whole body on fire for whatever reason. Sunscreen with parabens. Sunscreen without parabens is fine, but anyways, I don't know. Or maybe that's not it. Maybe I just had like a couple bad brands of drugstore sunscreen, and who knows? I don't know. It's a lot.
I could talk about this for forever. I really could. Anyway,
I'm a believer in cruelty-free. Like,
me too.
You know, the brands that aim not to test on animals wherever possible.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can't keep up. This is where my age does show, where I'm like, what? What are the objections today? Because like I'm so tired, I can't follow.
I know.
Is it okay that I use? What is that stuff that I use on my lips now? Bag balm or whatever?
I don't know.
I don't know. Anyways.
I use SPF on my lips. I use SPF lip gloss and SPF balm. And
I should.
Listen, life is short. Do what feels good. I'm vain. I'm fucking vain. And I just like, if I would go, you know how people are always like, what would you tell your younger self? I'm like, I would tell her to put some fucking sunscreen on and not lay out with in tanning oil.
But would she listen? Everyone told
me,
and I didn't listen.
It looked so good.
Yeah, I just feel like, I don't know. We just can't get ahead of everything at the cost of having fun or living a life or having an experience. I can't live my whole life with regret of going to the beach. I loved the beach. I was a beach girl, and now I'm not anymore. I'd still like it, but I loved it. And I would have been so mad. Like, what would have been the point of not great? So I don't have freckles on my shoulders.
I know.
Okay,
I know.
Who cares?
It's like yes, I wear the sunscreen on my body, but I'm not going to pull on a full whale trainer's outfit like Heather did last year at the water slide or the slip and slide party or whatever. That's it. Like, I'm not willing to do that, but I am
Yeah.
willing to use paraben full products on my face if I can get my hands on them. So yeah, AMA, dude. AMA makeup, AMA skincare. I will talk your ear off. Like, we've
Yes,
already
Ramona is
spent
a
20 minutes about this shit.
great resource.
So
So basically, bottom line, what you're saying is Heather Dubrow's skincare regimen is bullshit.
her regimen, like half of it is good, probably, and the other half is she's just wasting money. And listen, who doesn't love a cute fucking bottle on their counter?
Love it. I love it.
I get it. I totally do.
Packaging is really effective on this idiot.
It's effective on me too. It sucks because like I bought this really great eye cream by a brand called Alpine, and they're clean beauty, wank wank. It's got some nice ingredients for under the eye, and I took it out of the box, and the glass is not opaque, and so it's in the box on my counter. It's not even in the cute little jar because I'm like, I'm not spending $60 on a stupid ass eye cream that I'm treating myself to. I don't even believe in eye cream. I don't even believe in it, but
Subscribe to eye cream.
it's like there's no reason to use a different eye cream than just like your regular moisturizer.
Really?
You know,
Fascinating.
that is what Madison Avenue wants you to believe so that you spend more money. And a million
No.
people are going to come at me, or a million. I wish, my God, I would be so lucky to have a million people come at me. A million people will disagree with me, you know, and like the skin is delicate. Yeah, it is delicate. It's fine. So just use less. Just use less. It's thin skin. If you use too much eye cream, you're going to get puffy. Anyway, so Heather's routine, part of it is just that she's wasting money because it's in jars and it's in bottles that are clear, which is an issue for some ingredients like vitamin C. 34 minutes in, my fucking God.
Listen, it's an educational episode. You guys are getting a skincare education. Don't do what Heather Dubrow does with her face or with her life, because she's a mean monster.
And she'll usurp your conversation when you're trying to tell your friend, one of your best friends, how you feel about something, and she's going to make it about her.
That was crazy. The whole
Christ.
night had been ramping up to that confrontation because Emily was so pissed off. And immediately Heather was like, about me though. And I was like, oh my God. But anyways, we'll get there. We start with this conversation at Where's the Party, where Emily acknowledges that she was not nice to Jen at Gina's dinner party. I do believe that is why Emily did not take her makeup off, because she was so drunk on espresso martinis that she just came home and was like, and just like started slower breathing and was suddenly asleep. And that was that. It was interesting, you know, because Emily was yelling at Jen about paying her bills, and Emily says it wasn't about money, it was about integrity. And that never quite landed with me. So I think she's just hungover and saying big words. But they did show this flashback where Emily tells Jen to pay her bills. And, you know, she says, why don't you just sell that Rolex? And Jen says that she won't sell her Rolex. And then I was like, well, now you've lost me, Jen. Like a Rolex lives in the $30,000 to $90,000 range. Sell your Rolex. And then later when she's talking with Tamara, she says, she's implying that I owe people money. I'm like, I'm sorry. The first 7 episodes was you like getting evicted, getting your car taken away, learning that your yoga studio was underwater. If you have 90 grand on your wrist, sell it. Like, I was so on Jen's side. This was, again, an episode where there was no one to root for. I was so disappointed.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I get it. I get it. Oh, God. See, I thought Emily was like pleasing the court with her, you know, cosmic scoreboarding about Jen's Rolex. And I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm not on Emily's side right now because, you know, my big attachment to the cosmic scoreboard, the integrity of it all. And yes, I hear you saying that she should be selling her Rolex. And I'm like, God, would I sell my Rolex?
If you had, like, here's the thing. I think what bothered me, I took it, I'm projecting my own stuff onto it, but Jen clearly got rescued here. She got served an eviction notice. It sounds like her dad paid off the back payments. She couldn't keep up with her car payments. Ryan absorbed those costs and gave her his newish car. So she hasn't suffered any consequences. So
very good point, Margie.
How is she ever, like, if you have $90,000 on your wrist and you're not financially independent, get it off your wrist and put it in your bank. You are rich. Like, I can't.
Yeah.
That really bothered me.
Yeah.
And I get it. I know it doesn't work or whatever, but like minimum, you're, no matter what, you're living in a 5-figure exchange for a Rolex. It's crazy.
Yeah,
That
that's
made me feel
I can
crazy.
understand that. I can understand that. I mean, I was definitely part of the chorus that said, Erica Girardi, sell the fucking earrings, give the fucking earrings
Still,
back.
yeah,
You know?
to this day.
Exactly. Yeah, I found myself having like my heart was a little warm that Heather was like, dude, you were kind of gnarly to Emily. Like I thought that Heather was being kind, and I don't know.
I
Yeah,
I appreciated Heather had one line. Heather told Emily you went too hard on her, and Emily says, "Well, just like hide the Rolex or sell it. Like wearing it around just makes me think you're stupid." And Heather goes, "Okay, well, don't yell at someone just because they're dumb." And I was like, "Yes, that makes all the sense in the world.
yeah, that's
Don't
true.
yell at someone because they're dumb.
Plus,
It's like yelling at someone because they're crazy.
yeah,
Your argument's not going to land.
it's not going to
So
land, especially with
leave it
someone
alone."
dumb. They're just not going to get it. And
Yeah.
I'm not saying that Jen's dumb. She is just comparing me and Jen is like comparing apples and oranges. She is, I could never be her, and she could never be me, like, and
But
it,
Emily trying to yell, like convince Jen that she's dumb is a
yeah,
dumb way to spend time. Just either support her and say, here's how I can help you sell that Rolex and turn it into cash so you have a little more freedom. Or like Heather is saying, just leave it alone.
yeah,
Not
yeah.
your kitchen, not your dishes, not your sink, whatever.
She's not your circus, not your monkey.
That's
She's
it.
punching below her weight class, like she's not on an intellectual it's not an intellectual playing field between her and Jen.
I don't
And
know if that's true. I
this
mean,
is
I know
not a
Emily has degrees, but I don't think, I
it's the
think,
street smarts thing.
yeah,
It's
maybe.
the street smarts thing that
Yeah.
Emily has. And it's that kind of
Yes.
thing that I think you get when you grow up in a house like Emily did and you're just like, I gotta fucking, I gotta learn how to survive or I don't know what's gonna happen. I gotta take
And
care of
Jen,
myself.
for all intents and purposes, is basically like a Mormon wife who got married
Exactly.
very young and all the men take care of her. And now she's
Exactly.
50 and like facing, facing starting adulthood. So that's
Yeah.
challenging.
Oh God. I mean, I'd rather be Emily than be Jen, but Emily is just like, I don't know why she has to go for she's going for like the run to the litter. And it's just
Mm.
so, I don't know.
I agree with Gina. I think it's the Tamra Barney effect. I think you get
Wow.
accustomed to that like cadence of talking and, just immediately punching down and being mean. And so Emily, especially when drunk, has no problem doing it and doesn't feel much remorse when she's sober the day after. So
God, it's just so
whatever.
gnarly.
Jen and Tamara are on the
Yes.
beach. And this is Jen trying to rewrite history, saying, like, why would she say I have to pay people back? What does that even mean? Who do I owe money to? What is that insinuating? And I was like, what? I literally was so confused. I was like, it
Yeah.
sounds like you owe a lot of people money. That's sort of been your storyline up to
Right.
today. So I'm not sure what this is. And then Tamara asked if Jen has tried to talk to Emily, saying maybe she's going through something that we don't know about. And I was like, what? We definitely know that Shannon is going through something that the whole world knows about, and you're so mean to her. So, what
Yeah,
is
dude.
this sudden,
Yeah.
like,
Seriously.
Buddhist approach to friendship? It's
Yeah.
so bizarre.
She's so gross. Gina arrives at Cali Girl. Shout out to my sister for sending me the link to Gina's favorite boutique. I wonder if it's next door to Holy Chic because it sure seems like they are two doors in the same mall. That would
It,
that that
no,
didn't
they're a
land.
match for a strip mall. Like, I could
Yeah.
see both of those little placards on the sign at the corner,
Ay ay ay.
Holy Chic, Cali Girl. And then, yeah, Katie talks about how she's wary with her friendship of her friendship with Gina because Gina chose Heather's side in the great Disney paparazzi snooze. I
Dude.
just can't care.
I know. I know. I
And then
know.
Heather explains that she feels so betrayed by Gina for not vetting this information that Katie had. And Gina says, which I think is true, that Heather has just let this become something that she can't let go of. And like, again, Heather, the only reason anyone is talking about this is because you're so fixated on it. I
Yep.
can't explain how little I care about Disney paparazzi pictures. And I have zero interest in who Terry is putting his dick in. I do not care. It's not hot. It's not interesting. It's not scandalous.
No,
It's nothing to me. So
it's
if
not.
you never talk about it again, I will never think about it again.
Never,
So
never,
I don't
never.
know why she's so righteously obsessed, but she
It's
is.
it's the one thing she can't control, and she hates that. And
Oh,
because it
interesting.
and again, like, and no one gives a shit. Like, before this season started up again, I'd completely forgotten about it. And I don't care about Heather Dubrow. I think she's obnoxious. And so if something's going to make her look bad or stupid, like, throw it my way. I'll probably laugh or like be like, dumb bitch. But
Mm.
it's like I don't care. It doesn't matter. But when I see it bother her this much, I'm like, oh, interesting. So, like, make it a nothing burger, Heather, and I won't want to see you freak out about it.
Yeah, it's a weird fixation that she's developed with this really low stakes piece of information. And then we have Shannon rolling in, just like mopey Eeyore victim
Hi.
mood.
Hi.
And she's like, "Hi guys, I lost my voice, and John Jansen is suing me for $75,000 plus attorney fees." It's like, "Hi, Shannon. Like, why would anyone invite you anywhere? You're so." And trust me, I know. Especially, I come to you with a lot of my Eeyore moments in life. But like, if I'm going to Cali, girl, I'm gonna at least attempt to enjoy my time there and not initiate my
I know.
conversation like walking in slumped with my shoulders down, going, "Oh dear, John
Dude.
Jansen again. Shut up."
You never come to me with Eeyore shit. Like,
I
that's
do, but
no, you
you're so
don't.
patient with me. I love
Margie,
you. I know.
you're so incorrect. Woefully incorrect.
But it's helpful to have a friend like you who I can bring my Eeyore shit to because with you, I get to experience the point of frustration where I'm like, I'm tired of calling Ramona, going like this again. I don't want to talk to,
Oh,
if I
I
don't
know
want to
what you
talk to
mean.
you about it, then it's got to be done. Then
I
it's
know what you
time
mean.
for the frustration to lead to change, you know?
Okay,
Because
okay.
there's times where it feels good to be a victim and I love my righteous indignation. And then there's a time where even that gets boring and I'm like, I guess instead of making this phone call again, I guess I'll try something different. But,
Totally.
anyways, Shannon does not have that experience. So
No,
it's pointed out that
no.
Shannon has now been sued by two men connected to Alexis
Oh
Bellino.
my God, the
Just
indignity. The indignity.
darkness,
Yeah, it's
darkness.
wow. I mean, who the fuck wakes up and says, "Oh, today I'm going to be sued by an." That is kind of crazy.
It is crazy.
That's like, holy shit. Sorry, Shannon.
But I
Oof.
will say, this is what my therapist would say to me. I'd be like, I'd come into therapy and be like, look at that. The common denominator, Alexis Bellino. And my
Mm,
therapist would say to me, the common denominator is Marky McGee.
is Margie McGee. Right,
So
right.
take a look at yourself, Shannon.
Dude, seriously.
Stop
Ay, ay,
making dumb
ay.
choices.
Gina suggests a trip to La Quinta to get Shannon out of town, and Katie can't go because she's going on the competing trip to Tamra's Big Bear cabin. So, yeah. And then we go back to where's the party? And that's where Emily asks Heather to go to La Quinta. And Heather says she will go, but she's going to have to talk to Gina. Gonna have to talk to Gina and clear the air.
Heather is such an asshole because Emily invites her to La Quinta, and Heather goes, "Well, I would like to see her listing."
Oh,
But
yeah.
because Gina's invited everyone to see this house that
Oh,
she
yeah,
has been
yeah.
charged to sell, and she has staged it with like lovely white furniture, and she wants everyone to come and like spend a weekend or a night in it, which is just insane. But Heather can't even say like, "Thank you for the invitation. I would love to come," or "Oh, a fun night with my friend." She has to say like, "Well, I would like to see her listing." I'm like, you are so rude, you joyless monster. But yes, then she tells Emily that she intends to tell Gina how she feels about Disney Gate and that it might get heated. And it's like, I don't feel worried at all because there's no heat under Disney paparazzi pictures or Terry's alleged cheating scandal. I simply don't care.
Don't give a shit.
Can't care.
Boring.
Yep.
Boring. I don't care that she has paparazzi pictures taken at Disneyland. I only care when she gets butthurt about getting called out about having
I don't even
paparazzi
care
pictures
that
taken.
Terry's having an affair.
I don't
Like,
give a
that's
shit.
how little that's how little empathy Heather inspires in me.
Yeah,
It's
that's
amazing.
sad. Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Because I'm always looking for the soft spots in people where I can like really feel for them. And a potential cheating scandal normally would make me really go like, wow, that for anyone, that's really hard, no matter how much money or how connected you are. That's a real betrayal. And I literally am like, shrug, what's next? And
And
what's,
that's
yeah.
yeah, and that's something that I've always admired about you, Margie, is that you really have this ability to, you work at it, but it also you make it seem effortless to see the good in people or to give people the benefit of the doubt. Whereas I needed copious amounts of different psychedelics in order to be able to have compassion for someone like Heather Dubrow.
But it's also it's like one of those things that, it's a character asset gone awry. It's something that I work on in therapy a lot of like you've got to if someone is bad for you, it doesn't mean they're a bad person. I don't have to label them as a bad
Mm.
person and condemn them to hell. But I
Hmm.
need to learn to acknowledge this is a person who is bad for me.
Yeah.
Like the way I'm allergic to walnuts. I don't eat walnuts anymore because I go into anaphylactic shock and I could
Yeah.
die. So
Yeah.
I love seeing other people eat candied walnuts on their salad. How wonderful for them. It's a bad match for me. But I have such a challenge doing that with people. The second I see any like chink in the armor, I'm like, oh, hi, there's a tender spot. Let me hang out for way too long to see if there's anything valuable that leads to. And it's, anyways, so whatever.
I hear you.
It's a blessing and a curse, but
I get it. I
I'm
get
working
it.
on balancing it out.
We all do what we got to do to survive. We all have
Right.
coping mechanisms that, have continued to work or don't work in a healthy way anymore. But yes, I
And it's
admire it
ever
about you.
changing. It's
You know,
fluid,
it is. It's very fluid. You're right. You're right. Shane
So
tells every. Oh no. So there are we, or we're having
I
our.
love it. See, this is where I'm so obsessed with Ozempic. You skipped right by Heather at Shannon's
Oh.
house. Shannon is packing beautiful produce for the trip.
Hmm.
And then Heather notes that everyone's on Ozempic and they won't eat it anyway. And I made that's just like a whole separate scene note for me. And for you, it's just like on to the more interesting element, which is Emily and Shane.
I mean, Shane tells everyone not to eat in his truck, but his energy is also like, get the fuck out! Don't eat my truck! But bye, see ya, bye, 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 bye. Don't let me get your fucking coattails stuck in the door as I shut it on you. And I
Truly.
loved that, honestly. And Gina arrives and said that she was late because she had to drop the kids off at Travis's house.
She also said she was late because construction workers
Oh,
arrived
that's
at
right.
7:40. Travis moved out 20 minutes ago, and she's trying to convince us that this is hard for her. And you had construction, you had them lined up. You can't just call them day of. This is months of planning and permits, and you couldn't wait for Travis to get the hell out of there. Anyways,
Oy,
I'm
oy, oy.
fixated on this whole story. Anyways,
I hold back on commenting too much on it only because I am just positive that there is something going on underneath that we don't know about.
oh.
Who is holding up Travis's divorce? Is it Travis or is it his estranged wife?
I'll tell you who doesn't give a shit. The 3 kids who got kicked out of the
I
house that they've
know.
called home for 5 years.
Yep.
This is where I can't with Gina.
Yeah.
She's like,
Yeah.
sorry guys, get out so I can do construction and give my kids great room. It just really bugs me. Gina's
Like, are they in on it together? Are Travis
Travis
and
did not
Gina?
seem like he was
I
comfortable
know.
with this decision.
It
So
doesn't seem like it, but I'm not sure that it's. I don't know. I'm so curious. I'm so curious. Like, I want to be like, knock knock. Hey, Bravo docket. Can we fucking find out what's going on with these? If the court records aren't sealed, can we get a little peek behind the curtain? I'd love to know.
I mean, it's just divorce. I've been close to many friends and family members who have experienced divorce, and it's the last chance for the spouse to torture the other one. And so sometimes they just stay in it to make the other person's life a living fucking hell.
Damn, dude.
And I don't know, like, look at Dolores from New Jersey. Oh, you don't watch New Jersey. Well, she has a new boyfriend who's like going through a divorce and they can't seem to get divorced. because there's just a holdup on, assets. It's like everyone is going to stick around to scrounge for their last fucking penny because it costs them a great deal of serenity, but it punishes their spouse. So fuck it, I'll do it. Like, it's so gnarly. Not every divorce. Some divorces are like really pleasant. Every divorce is a trauma, but some are really efficient. But I've had enough friends who've experienced ones that are excruciating that I'm like, I feel for Travis. Again, he stood by Gina through some really nasty stuff. And there was no question that Gina and Matt needed to be divorced. He did something, borderline unforgivable. And there's no dragging out a divorce once you've committed a crime on your wife. So
Seriously.
in a way that helped expedite Gina's divorce. And now she's all impatient with his, like, ugh, whatever. I'm making the same points I made like a month ago. I'm just fixated on it.
It's confusing, and that's why I can't that's why I'm just like, what is going on?
I hope you're right. I actually really hope there's
on?
Another layer here that we don't have access
I'm
to.
I'm sure there are as many layers to this story as there are layers of bad extensions and clip-ins as in Gina's, head of hair.
That confessional look is outrageous. It's jarring. It's been there for what, 2 or 3 weeks now, and every time I'm still like, oh God.
I know. It's truly.
It's just like a big round weird helmet, like Boba Fett hair. It's just so bizarre. What is that? Why?
Oh my God.
And the dress is terrible. It's not a dress. It's not a sitting dress. I don't know what it looks like standing, but it's really weird.
It doesn't
seated.
It's weird. It's like denim fembot, but also holographic, and
it's a corset, but it's also a mini dress, but it also has no distinguishing feature. I don't know what style that is. It's just bizarre.
It is. It's bizarre, and the whole thing looks like washed in like a blue pink. I'm just not sure. I don't know what's going on.
It's a very strange choice.
We've never looked to her as our sartorial, benchmark.
No, but I remember you commented on how much you liked her first confessional look.
Yeah.
So I was like, sort of
disco
had high hopes. I was like, ooh, maybe this is the year she gets it together. No.
Yeah, I know.
All right. So then we're at Tamara's and we're all the drop-offs for the Big Bear babes. Matt drops off Katie. Alexis arrives at a new car that she can't parallel park. And Jen arrives in Ryan's her new car that she also can't parallel park.
I don't understand. This is where I get so fucking righteous, and let's just say this is when we're done recording. I'm going to go do. I have not done ketamine in about a week and a half, and I can tell when I need to do a little maintenance dose at home. Like I just get a little like, and so when I'm watching this scene, and I'm watching Jen try to park in this huge ass spot, and she can't do it. And I should judge people for legitimate things. And yet I do, but I also judge people when they can't fucking parallel park, when they can't regular park, when they can't left turn yield, when they can't do a lot of when they can't merge on the goddamn freeway, when they don't go fast. Like, you're getting on the freeway, so go ahead and don't be afraid to push on that accelerator, because we're all going to need to be going about 55 if we can. And you're not doing it. Why aren't you doing it? Why don't you know how to left turn yield? It's not that hard. No one's going to hit you. You go out in that intersection. Just do it. Just do it. Just inch out. Oh my God. And then I'd give a little turdies a tap, and they look at me like, what? I can't go. And I'm like, you can a little bit.
No, I totally do the same thing. I do the light toot toot, and then I get like the hands thrown up, and I see them, and I'm like, I'm not saying to turn left right now. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying get into the intersection so that more than just you can turn left when the time comes. Anyways,
is this like shrapnel from living in LA, and like you get about 1 second for 10 cars to make a left turn? Or is it just, no one can do it outside of the city of Los Angeles. Nobody can fucking do it.
Nobody can do it in Los Angeles. Everybody here's lost their damn minds too. Not everybody, but plenty of people.
Transplants.
I don't know what it is, but nobody knows how to drive but me.
Me either. Or my sister or my mom.
Oh, Not my sister, and definitely not my mom. My
Nope.
sister has her seat pushed up on the steering wheel. So, like,
Oh,
her breastbone is like touching the middle of the steering wheel, and
that I
her
don't
little
understand
arms.
either. God
She has
bless.
like
But
T Rex arms because it gives her more control. It's
yeah.
like,
Oh my God. No, I
but
just,
she's also tiny. My sister's like a little petite lady. So her chair is really high and she's all pushed up against her. And she's so angry behind the wheel. Like, it just takes so much energy to go to Dunkin' Donuts because it's so frustrating for her. And she does live in Atlanta, which is like Los Angeles times a million somehow. Everyone
interesting.
drives terribly. Everyone is a terrible driver, and everyone is on the road all the time there now. So
I
she comes
mean,
by it honestly, but it always, I can visualize her in my peripheral vision right now, pressed up against her steering wheel, being like, what do you want me to do? God damn it.
oh my
In her little
God.
priest outfit, screaming in traffic.
Totally.
Anyways,
Yeah. My favorite line of the absolute season, probably, I'm just going to call it right now, is when Emily says, "Well, now I'm a mule for chili. Now
that
I'm a
was great.
mule for chili." And I was like, okay, we're done. Wrap it up.
That was great.
Wrap it up.
And shortly thereafter, Katie has a pretty great line where she says, I've never been to Big Bear. And Tamara goes, You've never been? And she goes, No, I've been to Mammoth, which is where rich people go. It basically was just like, No, I've never slummed it in disgusting places with man made snow. I go to Mammoth.
I go to Mammoth.
Amazing. But she
Stars.
didn't say it gross. She just
She
said it matter of
didn't.
fact, like an actual rich person would. Like, no, I've never been to Big Bear. I've been to Mammoth.
Yeah.
I've been to
Yeah.
Aspen.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Amazing.
I know. I know. I know.
And then we're
Uh,
off. We're on road trip time. And the La Quinta ladies get Jack in the Box and eat in the truck. Oh, dear.
Even Heather ate in the truck. Even Heather ate Jack in the Box in the truck.
Oh,
And what?
Heather's going wild this
Yeah.
weekend. A hot dog, Jack in the
Wow.
Box.
She bought a little grill. Like it was just wow. Yeah. Honestly, the Big Bear ladies. Alexis says, "A player is only a player until they meet the right girl." Bitch, again, you've been in this relationship for all of 10 seconds.
And not to be
And
weird, but John Jansen is like 75 years old. So now is the time. You're telling me after 7 decades, now John Jansen is finally not a player?
oh my
Like, what are you
God,
even talking about?
she's
Please
God
drop
bless.
into reality, dear.
Honestly,
Like,
honestly,
that's something that
Alexis.
20-year-olds can say, but like once you're 50 and up, it's harder to do the don't hate the player, hate the game kind of stuff. Anyways,
Tamara's truck is in for me, and I'm just saying this for me, not everyone has to feel like this. I totally am okay with that. The kind of truck that she was driving is already like a dog whistle kind of a truck to me, but especially if that truck has an American flag decal, and
did
especially
it?
if that American flag decal is black, and especially if it's like, kind of like an artistic rendition. Yeah. So
Oh, I didn't notice that.
and see, that's the thing. Like I get so, I see, and this, I feel like this even happened before the orange shit gibbon was shoved upon us against our will since 2015. I mean, before that, yes, but then 2015, he broke what was the last bits of unbroken parts of our country. He fucking just shattered them all beyond repair. My point is that an American flag, ever since Operation Desert Storm on a car, has always made me like go, am I in danger? Not sure. Now, when I see an American flag on a car, especially if it's a black one, especially if it's got a little navy blue stripe going through, I am like, uh-oh, danger, 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 danger. And it's like, I don't know. She's got that large ass truck with those aggressive ass tires, and I'm scared.
Yeah,
I'm
it really
scared.
was. It was a truck show too. We got like
Yeah.
two pretty heavy duty trucks, which I don't think I've ever seen on a Housewives show before. Like they are luxury trucks, but I'm like, this is a lot of trucks for a
Orange
Housewives show. Yeah, right?
County. Yes.
Really its own world
Yes.
from time to
Yes.
time.
Yes.
We pull up to Tamara's house and she sets everyone up in their rooms and she has bear costumes for everyone because it's Big Bear. And Tamara tells us that she has renovated the home and it hadn't been redone since the 80s. And we get some before and afters that I had to pause the screen to be like, what's different? Like, it seems like she claims they like knocked out walls and did all this stuff. And I'm like, it looks like an interior decoration situation, not like a
Yeah.
renovation.
I mean, it's
I
just
wasn't that
a
impressed.
winter
It's
cabin,
fine.
live, love, laugh style. I mean, that
Yes, right.
fucking
That's probably
coaster,
why.
like,
Yes.
don't, don't, please don't fuck up the table or
No,
something. It was,
please. It just said, don't fuck up the table on a coaster. Get it? Stupid.
I would have to work hard to be that lame in my own home. And she gets a kick out of it. I don't know why I'm so bothered by it. I'm
I mean,
bothered.
but weren't you so satisfied when the ceiling was leaking? And it's like, you can do everything you want to this house, but your house is still against you. It knows you, it sees you.
The pictures of her and Eddie in their bedroom, in their respective Harley Davidson matching outfits, I was like, God, lady, where is your shame? Not that you
Nowhere.
shouldn't have pictures of you and your beloved, but it's just all of it together. I'm like, you're just a starter pack. You're a starter pack. Do you want to be a starter pack? Are you cool with that? Okay. She's
She's like
so
a spirit
gross.
Halloween packaged costume of a housewife.
I mean, she's just, oh my God. There's arrivals at Elizabeth Vargas's house. Her house is massive and pretty, and Elizabeth was entertaining to see back. I would have liked it if she stuck around. She was entertaining to watch. Her personal
She
life
was,
is a wild ride, you know?
but she brought like some lightness. I
She
appreciated her
did.
energy. And the house is like, it's lovely. It's like bright and natural light and like this white kitchen that was sort of like, but not in a sterile way. It was nicely
Yeah.
done. Like, I don't know if I'd pay $8 million for it, but like, it was very nicely done. I thought the
Yeah.
bedroom was beautiful.
Yeah.
Those vaulted ceilings with the beams
It
and
was very,
gorgeous.
very gorgeous. Agreed. Shannon is an animal lover. Shannon is one of those people that loves the animals. You know, she was concerned about the koi being
Oh,
hungry.
right,
And I
right.
loved that about her. And, you know, she reminded me a little bit of my grandmother, who was like, her favorite saint was Saint Francis because he was the
Oh,
patron
the
saint of animals,
animals.
you know?
Yeah.
And she was always like, not always, but like, you know, if there was like a stray dog that needed help and also had like a mom, she would take both of the dogs in. And her dogs ate better than we did, you know? And they were coddled and spoiled, and they were terrifying, but they had the run of the house. And she did not meet an animal that she didn't like love. And I think it just speaks to how harsh humanity can be. Is like, animals are sweet and trusting and vulnerable. And what isn't lovely about that?
Yeah.
And Shannon, I think Shannon's like, that might be where their similarities end, my grandmother and Shannon, but I saw it. I saw my grandmother and Shannon like being like legitimately stressed out about the koi being hungry,
Yeah, she was really worried. She was
you
like, I'm
know?
worried about the koi.
Yeah. And I really like that.
Yeah.
And I know she didn't mean to like endanger Archie the way that she did that night. And she did. And
She's so lucky.
she's
That's
so
all I'll
lucky.
say.
But I think
That
she
could have
really
gone a
does
different
care for
way.
him.
I think she
Yeah.
does too. But I think, yeah, she got, as my mom would say, she got a real cheap lesson.
She really
She had a
did.
lot to lose and
And she's going to
was
lose
spared
more.
all of it.
Yeah.
But no lives, not hers, not her
Nope.
dog, nobody
Mm-mm.
else. So she's
Yeah.
fucking, I'm not sure she's in touch with like what a gift that is, but that's not my problem.
I know, dude.
So they go tubing in Big Bear. Tamara makes fun of Jen and Alexis. Back at La Quinta, they unload the truck and Heather sets up her little grill because she's hilarious, I guess. And
So weird. So random.
Gina tells Elizabeth that Shannon needs this little getaway, and then Elizabeth departs. And then we head into this where Gina's so proud of herself for buying these matching pink girls' trip sweaters.
My God.
It's just
My
like,
God.
what is happening? I'm like, is it 1998? Like, did the term girls trip just occur to you guys? Why is everyone like so excited about a pink girls trip? Like, I couldn't. It was so Orange County to me. I
It
was
was
like, this is the
so
most.
Orange County.
And I'm not one to use the word basic much or lightly, but like this, I was like, oh, if anyone is ever confused on what basic means, please watch this
I
episode that
know.
aired in 2024.
God, exactly. It's like it'd be one thing if like I feel like around the same time that, and I apologize if I am completely ignorant on the history of tourism in Nashville. All I know is that within the last 10 or 15 years, Nashville has become like the number one destination for bachelorette parties in the country. And before that, you wouldn't really think that. And now I think Nashville, I'm like, oh my fucking God, I don't want to go on that main drag. It's going to be a bunch of cowboy boots and fucking bad Party City wedding veils. But it was like about 10, 15 years ago when Rosé all day, but first brunch, fucking pumpkin spice latte, cursive bullshit, girls trip kinds of t-shirts came out. Like Etsy was like, oh, fuck yeah. Look at our sales are going up thanks to Nashville and fucking pumpkin spice latte fall Christian girls, you know? And for Gina to be like, I got these shirts. I'm like, dude, are we time
That's what you
traveling
went shopping for at your favorite
at
boutique?
Cali, girl?
Come
You
on,
could have
man.
gotten, not even Target's going to sell them anymore. They're like, Target's all, bitch, we did that 10 years ago.
Yeah, they're well past that.
But first wine, I mean, I don't know. It's just Gina.
But Gina's confessional
Gina.
look, Gina's choosing these shirts. It's like, this is Gina. I
You're
need to
right.
get into acceptance and stop expecting
You're right.
better things from her. And then it just made me die laughing because they start making espresso martinis in this stark white, optic white, brand new kitchen. And Heather spills an espresso martini all over the white kitchen and all over the rug. Immediately followed by Emily dropping the shaker, spilling more espresso martinis all over everything. And then Gina, this episode, she's really bothering me this season. Now she thinks she's hilarious. Now she thinks she's like the Sonia Morgan of Orange County. And she's like, I can't even look at it. And then we get her in a confessional in her stupid outfit going like, my brain told me, don't bring these girls to the kingdom. And she tries to do like a bit. And I was just sitting there with my arms crossed and like steam coming out of my nostrils. Like, can we move this along? I am not enjoying this at all. This isn't funny. It's forced. It's stupid. And it's also your fault. You brought these people to a house that you staged with Restoration Hardware white furniture. You dumbass. I don't feel sorry for you. And I
Yeah.
don't think you're funny. The end.
Oh, she's absolutely not funny. She's not
Okay.
funny at all. No,
I'm
no.
glad. 'Cause
She's
sometimes I don't know if
no.
I'm just in a mood or if it's really like,
No,
this is going on
no,
too long and you're really enjoying yourself and I hate at
She-
all of it.
She like did whatever the like callous version of Jump the Shark is. She's real high on her own supply. She's really thinking she's doing a lot this year. She's
really
thinking
is.
she's street smart and savvy, and she is woefully self-informed.
I am worried about her because she just started this real estate career and it has been going well, but every showing she's made for herself this season has been terrible. She has admitted to not doing a credit check for a friend and putting an owner into a situation where they have to evict said friend. She's bringing people to spend the night at a house that she's already staged for sale. Like, this is insane. And her commission should be reduced. Like, the property is used now. Like, this is insane. I can't. It's very
I
strange.
know.
She's weird and I worry for her future. She's so high and mighty about like Jen's fucked up. I'm like, you've started your career, but you need to keep it. And the way you keep a career is like being consistent and good. And all
Well,
I've seen so far is just bad choice after bad choice.
she'll blame it on someone else. She'll blame it on Jen for some reason. You know, she'll blame it once. She'll blame it on
She's
something.
and even to the point, this is so small, but this is how much I'm cued into Gina and how much I hate her right now is with Elizabeth Vargas there, the woman who gave you the listing of for this $8 million home. She says there are 500 koi in here. And Gina goes, I just say 300 or so. And I was like, your client is standing next to you. In this moment, even if you tell people who are looking to buy the house it's 300, your client just said it's 500. You say, where is her brain?
I don't know.
Am I wrong?
Her brain's being destroyed by the shit that she's wearing from her neck down. It's creeping into her
Her
sense
girls
of,
trip sweater poisoned her.
honestly.
She's in sepsis.
We need
septic.
we need sepsis. Yes.
Septic.
Septic.
What is sepsis? Who
Sepsis
cares?
is when you're septic.
Oh, okay. There we go. Well, apparently I have it too because my brain is dying.
We need Sweet James on the case. We need to bring it all back to Noella and Sweet James, and we need to. He needs to put in an ad like, "Have you been a victim of intelligence sepsis as a result of wearing a girls trip shirt from Cali Girl Boutique? If so,
Truly.
you may be entitled to." God, I'm going to cut that out. That was
Why? Class action lawsuit. Let's go.
Oh, back at Big Bear, Alexis gets the Costco liquor from her best friend Tamara because Tamara's a bitch. She
Bottom
won't tell the
line.
difference. She won't tell the difference. Let's give her the Costco liquor. By the way, Costco liquor is just
Great.
brand name liquor in a fucking Costco package.
That's
so
why people go there. It's
joke's
fucking
on
great.
you, biatch. And Alexis FaceTimes John Jansen in front of the other ladies and cracks herself up. She finds herself so hilarious and entertaining. And it's like, I don't know, dude. And then Tamara does just, dude, with friends like her, who needs enemies? She compliments John Jansen. This is a man that made her one of her supposed best friends. He hurt her very badly for years and years and years. And, you know, cool, but let's compliment him and say any interaction I've ever had with you, John, has been pleasant, you know? Are you
And Eddie loves you.
Yeah.
And you look shredded. You look whatever. And then even to the point of it's such a small shot, but like if you're a woman, I'm sure you noted it when she says, you know, you look like John looks great. He looks like he's like has had a weight lifted off him, about 150 pounds, sort of calling out what Shannon might weigh. And like, that's just rude. And it's a bigger number than Shannon would like. We all watched her weight loss journey with that hateful trainer who went, oh, wow, when she took her shirt off. So it's just every chance she gets, she takes a shot, and they're insidious and big and violent. She'll take any kind available to her. It's awful.
She's disgusting. She is a fucking rat. She is, you know what? That's mean to rats. She is. I know there are some animals out there that have tendencies that I would be afraid of. I'm not going to waste anybody else's time by figuring out what they are right now, but I'm just saying that she is not fucking cool.
She's a beast. She says in her confessional, I know what a pain in the ass Shannon is. I don't know how he hung on so long. And I just say the same could be said for you, Tamara. The same could be said for me. The human experience is being a pain in the ass a lot of the time.
Yeah.
In an intimate relationship, like that's just what it is. And intimate meaning romantic and friendships.
Yeah.
Like when you're close with someone for a long time, you wind up being a pain in the ass just because people are people. And you're a monster. And it's just total erasure of Shannon's experience with John Jansen as an asshole. Like, it just was so pointedly hateful. I was shocked.
You're so nice, Margie.
How am I nice?
Because you just like gave a little TED talk on how hard it is to be a human.
It is.
I know it is.
And
I know
wish
it is.
people
You know
like
it is.
Tamara
And
would be
Tamara,
like
yeah.
aware of that. People tolerate Tamara. Not like she's not wonderful all the time. You know, she's a screaming monster who's friends with Teddy.
Oh my God, you're right.
So
Scream
the
monsters
fact that
from
people
Teddy.
put up with her at all is a miracle.
Oh my God, yeah. I want to say right now a number like you know, speaking of the weight, I'm gonna fucking say it. My number is not far off from what Tamara said about Shannon, and I am bony as shit. My point is, Numbers don't mean shit. It doesn't mean anything. And I know what I'm saying is by sharing that, I am trying to saying that someone weighs 150 pounds should not be a fucking put down is what I'm saying.
But Tamara knows her audience and knows it
Yeah,
will be.
you're right. You're
It
right.
will be to
You're right.
Shannon. Shannon has struggled with her weight openly on the show.
What a fucking asshole, dude.
Shannon is petite. I'm not saying me, Margie, I'm not saying 150 pounds is like anything.
Right.
I'm just saying that Shannon is a petite person who, when we met her, was a twig, has gone through a weight gain and loss journey. And Tamara is well fucking aware of
Right.
every number involved in that journey. So she chose 150 to harm
Yeah.
Shannon's spirit.
I just can't.
It's mean.
She sucks.
She does.
I know. News at 11, right? Water wet.
No. Then we're back in La Quinta and we have Shannon and Emily talking outside, where Shannon reveals that Gina and Katie thought Emily was angry. And I appreciated Emily here immediately coming clean, talking about the dinner, saying, I lashed out at Jen and it was inappropriate. And then Shannon pushes a little further and says that, well, Gina said that Emily, you're so far up Tamara's ass, you know, that you're becoming a meaner person because of it. And Emily immediately just is seething. You can just, her whole energy changes, her body language changes, and she's just had it. She feels betrayed by Gina. They've been friends for 6 years. Gina claims to be her best friend. And here she is gossiping to everyone else about what Emily's new friendship with Tamara has turned her into. I would be pissed off too. I would be furious. I might even lose my appetite too.
Oh my God.
This is awful.
Oh my God. Yeah.
And
Agreed.
then we're back in the kitchen with Gina going, oh my God, we made hot dogs. And I'm just like, what is this act? I just hate it.
That dinner looked so good, and I've wanted a hot dog ever since, like a grilled hot dog, like a really good grilled beef hot dog.
Well, let's get you to Where's the Party, and we'll get you your own tiny grill.
Yes. Yes.
And
a little
package
tabletop.
of, yeah,
hibachi.
Oscar Mayer wieners, and off you go.
We go back to Big Bear for a hot minute, and Big Bear is so fucking cute. Like, it is so cute at night with all the like lights on and stuff. And I
Yeah.
really,
It's charming.
I would totally, fall's around the corner. I'd fuck with a Big Bear trip. I'm not gonna lie. And Katie is correct. They don't have a lot of Asian friends. So when she was talking about the Asian flesh, she's like, I don't know they don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I'm all, no, they do not.
That's shocking.
No, they do not. Yeah. Yeah.
That is shocking. That is a degree of distance from.
Oh yeah.
I
Big time.
I should not be shocked. It's Orange County. Orange
I
County
know.
is going to Orange County.
I know.
Then
Back
we're
in La
back at,
Quinta.
oh yeah, go ahead.
No, yeah, dinner is just a quiet, angry, passive-aggressive mess. And Emily tells Gina what Shannon told her, and Emily tells Gina that she threw Katie under the bus for Heather. Then Heather just co-opts the entire conversation and from Emily and starts in on her bullshit. And then they discuss a timeline that I could not keep up with. I tried. I promise you. I know it's my job for this podcast. And all I know is that there were 10 days, 2 days, and months. I didn't get it.
And you know why? Because it doesn't matter. Because once again, this is all related to Disneyland paparazzi
Yeah, you're right,
photographs.
you're right.
Like, yes, the root of it is Terry's cheating. And I was happy to hear Heather at least say that part out loud in this episode. But the problem with Katie has only to do with Disneyland paparazzi photos. So the timeline is of interest to absolutely nobody. But I did think it was interesting when Gina said to Heather, you don't trust me. That's the issue. She goes, am I perfect? No. But am I allowed to make mistakes with you? No, never. I'm never allowed to make a mistake. And I was like, that's really honest. And that's how Heather likes her friendships, is for
Yep.
people to feel like they can't make a mistake or it's over. Everything is always on the line with Heather.
Have to be. You
And I
have to, yes.
appreciated Gina for just being like, yeah. And then, we get to the point where like Gina says, are you going to believe Katie over me about this timeline information? And Heather says, well, you believed her over me. And then she starts an acting audition where she goes, I'm having a really hard time. I feel stabbed in the fucking back. And I appreciated Gina in this moment because she just goes, I understand that you're hurt and I get it that you're not going to get over it. And that's fine. but I need you to know that I am your friend and I'm trying to remedy this mistake right now, you know? And I was like, good for you for not going like, oh, Heather, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so, because that's what Heather wanted. And she didn't get it. And so she had to come around and be like, act all benevolent and be like, I'm going to choose to move forward from here. And we'll see what your actions reveal about, how, whatever. So controlling, so manipulative. I'm going to choose to move on. This is all on me. I get to decide. So gross.
Do you believe that Heather's kids really called and said, "Oh my
No.
God, my friends are asking about your marriage"? I don't either. I don't buy it.
Once again, all I've done for 15 years is watch Bravo, and I don't care. So
Yeah.
no college kid is going to give a shit about some 60-year-old man sleeping with someone else, which really isn't what Heather's mad about. She's mad about paparazzi pictures being outed as fake. No college kid. They're so, I mean, I'm projecting. My experience in college was I was so excited to meet new people and like have new experiences. I'm not looking back at my hometown to see like whose dad is fucking around. I could care less. And if it did bother them, then Heather, that's on you. You shouldn't be a public person if you're concerned about your children hearing things about you. Like, why do you think you would be exempt from this ever? And also, they're teenagers. I don't believe this
I
had
don't either.
any impact on
I don't either.
anyone. I
I
don't
don't.
believe her at all. My
Okay.
children called me about this. No, they didn't.
No, I don't.
They called
I
you to
know.
ask for some more money.
I think that I also like, and not again, not that I'm a god, but like on the spectrum of Shannon saying CPS is going to come take your kids for, mom and dad were accused of having a photo shoot set up at Disneyland because rumors started percolating that your dad was cheating. It's like, dude,
That came to no fruition. Like, there's just no
yeah,
consequences
like,
here.
it was a
Like,
nothing
it's
burger. Jesus.
put it on your mini grill.
Yeah.
Nobody needs it.
Stick it in your fucking glass jar skincare.
Then we're in Big Bear and we do this disgusting moment, at least to me, I just could not take it, where Jen sticks her toes in a pie and Tamra licks them, and it was fucking gross, and it was supposed to be like an OnlyFans bit. I hope it earns her some money, but like I did not need to see it. And then we get to sort of like the drama cliffhanger of the episode, which is Jen asking Alexis, when is she going to let this stuff go with Shannon?
Yep.
And Alexis says that Shannon has ruined John's reputation in the community. Like, please. And Alexis reveals in her confessional, and again, I had just a moment of softness. Alexis said that John is the only one who's been there for her as she's grieving her mom, who just passed away. So I understand why Alexis is protective of John, but like it's to a point that's insane. Like, she's distracting herself from grieving the death of her mother by obsessing on Shannon. That's there's
right.
something going on with her that she
You're
has
right.
transferred onto Shannon, and she says she won't stop until it's righted. And Alexis tells the girls that John has videos from the night of her DUI and that they're like very damning. And I'm sure they are. She was drunk, and apparently they're Ring camera footage. So it's her like stumbling in the house. It's her probably the whole initiation of the DUI was her speeding away from his house wasted. So it's probably the fight that led to the accident and her returning to his house bloody after the accident. So I'm sure it's awful. And I'm with Jen when she said, I can't imagine why anyone would release those. I can't understand why no one would consider the further harm this will cause to Shannon and her family for real. For what? Just to win the day with John
Oh
Jansen?
my God.
It's so vile.
It's disgusting. It's
Don't
disgusting.
like that, Alexis.
I know. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. She's obsessing about this because it's keeping her from having to grieve. Which,
Yeah.
who wants to do that?
No,
It's
anger,
excruciating.
I feel like you've said it a bunch, that anger is like an easier, more accessible emotion. There's power in
There's
anger.
power
You
in
talked
anger.
about it with Ariana in Vanderpump Rules, that there's power in anger, and sadness requires a lot more surrender.
Yeah.
And it's hard to want to go there, especially because with grief, it often feels like it'll never end. That if you let it start, that's where you'll be forever,
It
just in a puddle of tears on the floor,
yes,
feeling loss only for the rest of your life, which is not the fact for
it's
anyone
not the
who's worried.
fact,
But it's
right?
sure if you feel that way, then you're ready to start grieving because it
Totally.
should feel that way. And the truth is, it does pass, but it comes with pain, and Alexis is in no mood to feel her own pain, so she's inflicting it on Shannon, and
Yep.
there you have it.
I
Sad.
feel bad if she doesn't. Okay, like let's say I didn't have my husband for whatever reason, and I lost a parent. I would have so many girlfriends that would pick me the fuck up and hold me. I could cry just thinking about it.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't need a John Jansen. You know, I have Margie McGee. I have
Yeah.
my others. So fuck, man, I don't know.
And also part of what lots of people hate about grieving is that it's lonely.
It's
Even
so
no matter
lonely.
how many people are around you, it's your loss.
Yeah.
And you have to reimagine your world now without that person in it.
Yeah.
And that's a personal venture. And
Yeah.
it only helps to have like supportive, loving people have that energy around you, but like it's your work to do, and like so many people hate doing it. And
Hate it.
so, and I don't, it's awful, but it's life. It's part
It
of the
is.
human experience. And it's, I get another design flaw that I will bring up when it's my time to speak with whoever's in charge of all this shit. But it just is what it is. So, and
Agreed.
Alexis is absolutely dissociating from her own personal grief, but you really
Jeez.
saw it in that confessional. You really saw how sad she is. She could barely get the sentence out, and it makes sense why she prefers anger. It feels energizing, but it's just delaying grief. So,
Can confirm.
yeah,
Can confirm.
yeah.
Absolutely. Oh, I mean, yeah, and I don't think that Shannon doesn't want, I think she wants to move on from John Jansen more than anybody else. And Shannon and John Jansen and Tamara aren't letting her. Like
Alexis. And
Alexis.
right.
Alexis and Tamara and John Jansen are like keeping Shannon talking about John Jansen. But if it was up to Shannon, she would be like, "Oh my fucking God. No."
She tried. Apparently, he alerted her that he was going to file a lawsuit, and she tried to make payment arrangements just to pay what he felt he was owed, and he filed the lawsuit anyway. So it's not about, oh, I guess there was a preview like sort of showing that
Yeah.
for the coming week, right? So
Yeah.
it's not about money. It's about punishing her. It's
Yep.
about humiliating her. It's about, I don't know what John Jansen is up to, but my God, he's got lots of time and money to be a dick.
Oh,
Shameful.
shameful, 100%.
What else did
Anyway,
you watch?
I watched The Bachelorette and Love Island, which is such a fucking slog. I did not know it was 32 fucking episodes. Oh my God.
Oh yeah,
It's so long, and every
that's why I got
episode's like
overwhelmed.
an
I haven't
hour or
been
an
able to
hour and a
start.
half. And I'm like, oh, why? So it's like, I was all like, yay. And then I was all, wait a minute. I have how many? This is a job. It's a job to watch the show. So, and then Summer House, I'm almost at the end of season 4. Again, Kyle and Amanda have the same fucking fight. Luke and Hannah have just done the deed. People are pissed about it. I mean, like Paige and Amanda could not have taken it more personally, whatever. It's really weird seeing Carl. It's really weird seeing seasons 1 through 4, Carl
Is that when
having
he's not sober yet? Yeah.
no. And I only was introduced to Carl at season 8, Carl. You know, that's what made me want to get into it, was like the end of their engagement. And because he was, and his sobriety and the tragedy with his brother. And just to see like Lindsay is just, wow. It's just so much unprocessed trauma, and I feel so badly for her. And Carl is just on a one-way collision course to, well, hitting rock bottom,
Mhm.
And I don't know. I'm just I'm still so intrigued by Hannah and Luke. I want to see how it ends. It's almost over. I've got one episode left of season 4. I fucking love Summer House, and I apologize to anyone and Summer House anyone who was like, "Are you sure you want to watch Summer House?" And I was like, "No, I don't want to fucking watch Summer House." I was wrong. I was wrong a million times over. And I'm so glad that right now they are shooting it because I want more.
Everybody comes to these shows in their own
You're right.
time,
You're
you
right.
know.
How about you? What'd you watch?
I too watched The Bachelorette, and again, I'm really impressed with this season. So this week they talked about religion. There
Oh
was a
my
couple that they talked about.
God.
There's a
Yes.
Jewish kid who talked about how it's important to him to have his kids experience the Jewish culture. And she's Buddhist and she expressed the same. And it was lovely. And I guess I was just so floored because I'm like, oh my God, last week we talked about like race and addiction. And this week we're talking about religion. Like these are topics that have never been touched on this show. And now with, a female woman of color in the lead, they're letting all of this stuff happen. And it's so, I mean, it's still The Bachelorette, so it still has its limitations. But the fact that religion was brought up at all, I found like
I,
shocking
yes,
in a wonderful way.
it was wonderful. It's Jeremy.
Jeremy is his name, yes.
Jeremy was raised, and he made an emphasis to talk about like he was raised culturally Jewish, and he'd want his children to be raised culturally Jewish as well, which
But he
obviously
talked
has,
about the history. He said
yes,
his grandfather was like an important rabbi in, I mean, now I'm going to bastardize it, but in a place or of a time where the culture had been erased by a pretty significant event in history. So Jeremy feels a certain
yes,
sense of responsibility to maintain
yes,
that. And I loved that about him. I
right.
think to me, that makes him such an attractive
Oh
option.
my
I just
God,
think he's like, what a principled person who's like a whole man who knows what he
completely.
cares about, who's like able to articulate his values. I just thought it was beautiful. And the same for her. She
I
answered right
know.
back. It was great.
And they both they were like, yes, it was mature. Neither one of them backed down. Neither one of them tried to make concessions. It's like, and the fact that he was so on board, like, yeah, we can have fucking Jewish Buddhist kids. And I was like, yeah, you can. I'm fucking Mexican and Jewish. And I loved both. I mean, like, I couldn't ask for, I'm fucking pumped the cards I was dealt. Listen, it's not all it's cracked up to be when you like have feelings of identity crisis and you don't know where the fuck you're supposed to go. But that's a whole other, no one called for that conversation right now. I'm just saying that it made my heart sing watching them have that conversation. It was easy, breezy, and heavy
And he answered,
and honest.
she said to him, after he expressed his interest in raising kids with cultural, like in the Jewish culture, she said, well, it's important to me that my kids have the experience of a Buddhist culture as well. And
Mm-hmm.
he's like, well, if, I wouldn't ask you to do that for
Yeah.
me without being 100% open to doing that with you. And I was like, oh my God, this is
Yeah.
so evolved and lovely. And
Yeah.
like, I thought it was just really, I found it really moving. And I watched Alone, which no one else watches, but I swear to God, one day you'll get into it and
I
you'll
will,
see
I
it's a
promise.
fascinating
I believe
study
you.
in mental health, loneliness, isolation, community, all this stuff, and nature. It's like really, really wild nature that I'll never be a part of because I hate camping. Anyways, I also watched a show called Welcome to Plathville, and I talked to you about this earlier in the week, but in the show, a young couple has gotten divorced after being together just a few years. And the young woman is moving her stuff out of their shared home. And she's going through pictures and she's sort of weeping, looking back at what was beautiful about it. Because every relationship starts like there's a reason you commit to each other because you love each other and you think it's going to work. And she's looking through pictures and getting emotional. And a producer asks her, like, knowing what you know now, would you do anything differently? Would you not have married this man? And she said, for self preservation, no, I wouldn't change anything just to spare myself this feeling right now. And I thought that was so profound and evolved to just, it's such an understanding of like, life is these experiences. Like life is the big love. And what do you gain from not having the big love? I guess you gain not having the big loss, but
Mm,
then what? Just beige? She would have
right.
had just 5 years of beige. Is that better? Maybe. I've never had beige. My life has never been arranged in a beige way.
No.
So I just thought that was a lovely perspective of like self-preservation is not a reason to not make choices and take actions and try things. So,
For you and me, it's not. Yeah,
right,
for sure. For
right.
sure. Pass on that.
Yeah.
What was your antidepressant this week?
Oh boy. You know, um, I'm going to try not to weep, but it's already happening.
It's okay.
So there's, you know, um, a college friend has received like a very challenging health diagnosis. And what I love about all of my friends, every group of them and them as a whole, is that the second anyone's in trouble, everyone rallies. It's immediate, without question. The second this news was revealed, everybody in our class, there's 20 of us who were in the same major. We are immediately on top of like doing whatever is in our power, which in the grand scheme of things is not much, you know? But what came of it is I started having like huge anxiety about the powerlessness over this moment in time. I can't do anything to affect any change in this person's like body, physical health, whatever. And that was really bothering me. But so I reached out to talk, to make phone dates individually with some of these friends. And it's been so powerful to just connect with them. And it's not like we just talk about what's going on with this other person. It's this person who has motivated this beautiful reconnection, deep reconnection, the way we used to talk in college. And we've all seen each other since then. We've gone back to school for reunions and stuff. But like, this is a new level of like reminiscing of what we were like in college, getting caught up on who we are and what we're like now. And so that level of connection has been amazing. And it's also tinged with worry, you know? Um, so I don't know, it's all of the feelings. And like weirdly, that's an antidepressant,
I get it.
feeling the whole spectrum all at once. I feel like I really need to go see Inside Out too, because it feels like whatever that movie is this. It's like every feeling is happening really intensely all at once. And it's beautiful. It's life. And it's, you know, it's all of it. So that, if that counts in some way, shape, or
I
form,
understand.
even though I'm weeping, it was an antidepressant.
I
So
understand.
yeah,
I understand.
I know you do.
I do. I really get it. It's like, yeah, I understand, Margie, 100%.
Yeah.
And I think that the weeping is part of it because it's your heart. It's your heart.
Yeah. And it's just care.
It's
Like,
just,
it's not
yes.
even what I've realized in having these conversations with friends. It's like, it felt like fear, but what it is love. I just
Yeah.
love these people so much. I want all the time in the world with everyone
Yeah.
forever. I'm just aching for these humans, like to reconnect with them. And we are reconnecting, and that is a beautiful thing. So there's that. How about you? What was your antidepressant?
My kid is starting a new school in about a week and a half, and they offer summer camp over the summer, which we thought was a great idea because then he would have a chance to get to know the campus and hopefully meet kids that he's going to be in the same class with, which he did. And we
Great.
went to like there was a play date for like all the third grade families, and Leo's best friend that he made over the summer over a couple camp sessions was there, and to like pull up and get out of the car and hear like little kids squeal my kid's name, and Leo like just, you know, making a beeline for them, like whatever, mom and dad, like, and like squealing their names back. Ah, it just made it's like the relief I felt because his bestie went to a different school last year, and Leo had friends, but he was really lonely. It wasn't the same kind of connection. And it feels like the connections he's made and will continue to make are the kind that his little soul needs and that has been it's been missing. And it just like I just am so fucking happy about that. Like I'm so excited for him to start school.
I'm
And there's
ecstatic. It made my like stomach feel like
yeah,
you do at the top of a roller coaster. I'm
yeah.
like, ooh.
Mm-hmm. And
This
then
is the beginning of a good thing.
yeah, I think so. And I really liked the parents I met, which was great. And then we're flying to San Diego tomorrow, and there is a lot going on with my husband's family, and we are staying at one of his best friend's house, and I'm really excited for my husband and to be with one of his besties. I know it's going to be a hard week. I know there's going to be some grief coming up for him. It's also his birthday, and so I'm just really we're going to where the love is tomorrow. You know, some of my closest, nearest, and dearests are in San Diego, and his definitely are. And
I love your San Diego friends.
me too,
They're
and
so
they love you
great.
too. I'm so
Yeah.
fucking lucky. I'm
Oh,
so
I
lucky.
mean, you attract great people.
My same group of women that I had at my bachelorette party 10 fucking years ago now. They're the exact same ones I'd want if it was tomorrow. So I'm really fucking grateful. Anyway, this episode's been long because I went off about skincare for about 20 minutes.
It's important. It's
So
important.
sorry.
Especially, I mean, we talk about the Real Housewives. Like, all they do is update their appearances
You're right.
in various
You're
ways.
right.
So it's certainly apropos of the subject matter here. So
You're right. Everyone, thank you so much for listening. After this, I'm going to go do a very appropriate amount of ketamine to right-size my brain. Given the news we've had this week, I want everyone to understand.
Oh,
See, now I'm
Matthew
gonna cry.
Perry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
A lot came
For
out.
anyone who may not know Matthew Perry, the people who supplied Matthew Perry with the ketamine that eventually took his life have been charged with
Yep.
murder or
Yeah.
manslaughter or something. But he was really abusing it. Like
I mean, my fucking God.
numbers that I saw reported were astronomical.
They
So
were terrifying.
that is not
It
a
is-
therapeutic dose
No,
of ketamine. That is someone
no.
really struggling still with some addictive
Big time.
tendencies.
Big
Yeah.
time. Surrounded by people that did not have ethics, morals. I feel
Correct.
like, my sister and I had a conversation just a few hours ago about like the assistant. Like, where do you draw the line between enabling, but also it's your job and you're seeing your boss like, I don't know. I don't know. I need to get my thoughts about it. Like I'm spitting a lot, but like
It's really hard, but I do think it's an important lesson for like young people. I hope they're paying attention to the story, because if you're the assistant, don't put yourself in this situation, no matter like. But I also remember being that age and money was so hard to come by. However, this assistant
Yeah.
lived with him for
Yeah.
years, since 1994. There may have been some codependency, some enmeshment
For
in that
sure.
relationship. It's not just like, someone who signed up to like get lunch and pick up
Yeah.
groceries and stuff. Like, that relationship was weird. Or not weird, sorry. Just, codependent, enmeshed, something more than professional.
I beg and plead of people, please do not just lump therapeutic ketamine and ketamine therapy into, as a scary thing because of the headlines this week and what we're learning. Like, it's not that. It's not that.
No.
I
The
just,
dosage is nowhere. It would be a lifetime before you could do what
I mean,
Matthew Perry's body
just
had become accustomed to doing in a day. So,
unfucking believable. I'm
I
just
know.
straight up mortified. On that note, everyone, take really good care of yourself. Don't be afraid to lean into the grief. Do it with someone that you can trust and who loves you and who cradles your heart, just like you cradle mine, Margaret. And I am thrilled and honored to be able to cradle yours for as long as I can draw breath in my body. And you
Same.
know what? And beyond this mortal coil, I will still be there to cradle your heart.
Preach.
Absolutely.
Likewise.
Yep. Everyone, thank
I love you
so much.
so much.
Yes, I love you so much.
And thank you, everybody, for listening. And
Yes.
we'll talk next week.
We will talk next week. All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye. Ramona and Margie are obviously not doctors and do not provide medical advice. Their content is intended to be used for entertainment purposes only. It is not intended to be, should not be interpreted as, or used as a substitute for medical advice or a diagnosis of any health or fitness problem, condition, or disease, nor a recommendation for a specific test, doctor, care provider, procedure, treatment plan, product, or course of action.
My mom isn't a doctor.